Hey guys, it's Mike Cheng. I'm here in Southern Oregon, about to head to the Junkyard for a triple D 4-pound burger. Before getting to this burger, I just want to give a big thank you and shout out to the sponsor of this video, AG1. And I've been talking about AG1 for quite a while now, and happy to say, pretty much every single day, first thing in my stomach, a scoop or travel pack of this. Before AG1, I used to travel with at least half a dozen bottles of vitamins. It's really cumbersome, they take up a lot of space. It's really hard to keep track of how many vitamins left in every single bottle. Getting refills, also, it's really expensive. Nowadays, every single day, before anything goes into my stomach, a scoop or travel pack of AG1, 8 to 12 ounces of water, shake it up, and drink. And that will give me 75 vitamins, minerals, probiotics, which I desperately need, whole food source, superfoods, just a really convenient way to stay healthy. Also, AG1 always follows the latest research. They go beyond third-party testing to make sure whatever they're giving you, you're getting the highest quality and the best nutritional daily habits on the planet. And when you get your box inside, you'll find a travel bottle, your pack of AG1, travel packs, and a bottle of immune-supporting vitamin D. So if you want to give this a try, go to my link down below. You'll get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your order. AG1 really is a game changer when it comes to supporting your immune system because it really does give your body everything it needs for optimal performance every single day. All right, let's go see about that burger. Just put in my order for a triple D burger and also their fried cheese pizza. My appetizer has arrived. This is their fried cheese pizza. It's basically a pizza without the dough. So pepperoni, cheese, olives are sitting on a thin, fried, cheesy crust. Look at this, thin, toasty cheese with cheese on top and olives and pepperonis. Wow. I mean, this smells incredible. If you're trying to stay away from carbs, this is probably gonna be a really delicious option. I know this can't be good for me right here, but it's definitely good for me right here. Wow. I think we can all agree that one of the best parts of a pizza is the toasty, crusty cheese. And this thing is just all that with awesome toppings on top. The cheese crust is toasty. It's obviously super cheesy. And if you feel like this might be too much, I'm telling you right now, this tastes perfect. Especially this part at the end where the cheese is extra toasty. This is an absolute diabolically delicious creation. Not kidding one little bit. This is so good. A perfect appetizer. Wow. Thank you so much. And here is the triple D burger. 4 pounds of meat and cheese and bacon and pickles. Think some cornbread, fries, and a cheese skirt. All held together with a giant knife. Look at this bun. Beautifully toasty and buttery. The bottom of this burger is sitting on top of a grilled cheese skirt with sauteed onions, cheese, crispy bacon, and that is all surrounded by a moat of fries. I can't even pick this thing up. Let me just cut it in half. Look at that. Layers of cheese. There's a gooey egg in the middle too. 2 giant 3/4 pound patties. Again, sandwiched between 2 buns, sitting on top of a grilled cheese skirt. The problem with this is I have no idea even how to attack it. So you have to kind of use the cheese skirt on the bottom as the bottom bun. There we go. Holy moly. This is as extreme of a burger as I've ever had in my life. The patties, although they're humongous, perfectly cooked, super juicy. I mean, this is just a fortress of different textures and flavors. I mean, you got the crunch from the pickles, the onions, the cabbage, also the bacon, and that delicious subtle crunch from the cheese skirt. This burger is definitely not for the faint of heart. And speaking of heart, mine is racing right now. I don't know if it's because I've had half a fried cheese pizza and now sinking my teeth into a 4-pound burger, or that I'm just excited. I think maybe a little bit of both. Fries really good too. So if you are ever really hungry or want one of the cheesiest burgers in all the land, come to the Junkyard. See you guys in Singapore. Hey guys, Mike Cheng here in Chinatown in Singapore. Today, it's gonna be a really interesting buffet. All you can eat oysters. So I am at Kakurega, the Lair, and they just started doing this all-you-can-eat oyster buffet with jumbo oysters. You can have it fresh, you can have them with cheese. There's also a bunch of mini domes to choose from. So this place right now is going for about 50 Singapore dollars, so about 30 US, but they are raising their prices in about a month to 69 Singapore dollars, so about 48 bucks. At the same time, they're also adding new items to the menu like cheesy and mentaiko scallops. Smells so toasty and delicious. Toasted cheese on top of fresh scallops. This is so crazy good. It tastes like high quality cheese as well. Nice and stretchy, great milky flavor. Of course, that delicious char flavor from the flame. I think the only thing better than just regular cheese is toasted cheese. Then this one with toasted mentaiko on top. Holy moly. That may be one of the greatest bites of scallops I ever had. Their scallops is buttery. I think there's a splash of citrus. That is a flavor combination made in the depths of the sea. Something that I'm sure at, I don't know, Ariel or Poseidon's birthday party, they're definitely serving that. And the oysters are from Kyoto. So I got a plate of fresh oysters and a plate of cheesy oysters. I swear to you, before your oysters get to your table, you can smell them. Well, if you got the cheesy one, of course. But look at how big these oysters are. These are some ginormous jumbo oysters. A little bit of scallion on top, some grated radish. I'm so excited for the cheesy one. Gotta start with the cheesy one first. Look at this, again, super jumbo oyster, melty, toasted cheese on top. This is almost too much. It's so beautiful. Toasted cheese completely covering that succulent oyster. You smell the grilled oyster, you smell the cheese, and look at how big this thing is. Oh, that is so good. As soon as this thing pops in your mouth, you taste that plump, sweet, slightly briny, very juicy, giant oyster. Then of course the chewy, toasty cheese. And grilled oyster is one of my favorite things. The oysters are so delicate with a slightly briny flavor. And that flavor mixed with that torched and melty cheese, it creates a bite that's chewy yet so delicate. The beautiful cheese flavor mixed with that subtle brininess. It tastes like roasted cheese flavored ocean in the best way possible. And the fresh oysters, a sprinkle of lemon juice. Oh my gosh, again, the size of this thing. This might be the biggest oyster I ever held in my hand. I have eaten a lot of raw oysters in my day, but this is a plump, delicious oyster. Again, subtle hints of the ocean, not overwhelming at all. All the flavor profile is very delicate and mild. The texture is sublime, juicy and tender. Like a poppin' seafood. And I like that they have different types of oysters here. So this way you get the best of both worlds. You taste a fresh oyster, you taste it with cheese, keeps your taste buds engaged and keeps it interested. And every single oyster here is at least 110 grams. So almost a quarter of a pound. Those go down so easy. And honestly, so do these. If you love oysters, this will definitely be your happy place. And besides the oysters, a bunch of different mini bowls. So I got a mentaiko pasta. This thing served a little seaweed, a little topiko. Looks like it's covered in cream sauce and mentaiko. And what you can do to give it more flavor, add a cheesy oyster to it. That's a really good combination. Creamy pasta with some plump, juicy, cheesy oyster. The next bowl, this is the Wagyu karobido. Good sized chunks of beef over some salad and rice. Gotta bust out the spoon for this one. Combine this all together. You got that nice refreshing crunch from the salad. Also, there's white garlic in here to add even more flavor. This is a tender, tender cut of beef. That's super tender. Just treat this like a meaty, garlicky palate cleanser between your bites of oysters. Something else I gotta commend them for. I'm not really into fishy oysters, but these, super clean taste. This is like the best part of the ocean. And if you want a taste of spicy ocean, add some Tabasco. Spicy ocean tastes good. Round two, piping hot, fresh from the grill. One of my favorite things to eat whenever I'm in New Orleans, fresh grilled oysters with cheese on top. Here, eat as many as I want. Palate cleanser time. Garlic fried rice with fish roll on top. That's so nice and garlicky. Also, yakisoba with sliced pork belly on top. Thin yakisoba with some shaved bonito flakes as well. Yakisoba and fried rice, a couple of my guilty pleasures. This is really, really good here. This is such buttery yakisoba. The pork belly is fatty and melty, and the bonito flakes adds that extra umami boost. This is really, really good. Finally, a bowl of yakiniku gyudon. The meat a little firmer, just as flavorful. Like I said, this is pretty much oyster heaven. All you can eat, again, not smoked, they're jumbo oysters. Eat them with cheese, eat them fresh, eat them with some fried rice. Different rice dishes are really good as well. I mean, coming from the US where a dozen oysters could sometimes cost you over 30 bucks, this is a fantastic deal. Again, the freshest oysters you can find, absolute quality, and a slew of delicious rice and noodle dishes. No wonder this place is always packed. Another reason I love Singapore, it's about midnight right now, and still a ton of places are open. There's some pork organ soup that a lot of people are at. That looks good. There's a Vietnamese barbecue. There is a chuan chuan, so skewers, some chicken wings. That's a lot of options for a midnight snack. So after lunch, I had to go on a bunch of errands, and just now getting ready for some dinner. I'm glad this place is still open. I don't think I've ever had pig organ soup in Singapore before. Actually, I don't think I've had this anywhere before. This stall is really popular. Even now, after midnight, it's almost 1 a.m., still hopping. So pig organ soup, let's see what's inside. Tofu, there's some meatballs, some liver, some lean slices of meat, and intestines. There's some pickled veggies, some greens, and some pork belly too. Also, I just want to say, this is such a cool night. This is almost like jacket weather here in Singapore. I don't think I've ever been to Singapore when it's this cool before. Whoa. Why did I never have this before? Stayed in Singapore for 6 months and never tried this? What in the world? Oh my goodness, this is mind-blowingly good. The amount of flavor in this broth just sent shockwaves through my body. I couldn't imagine that much flavor in this broth. The flavor is so meaty and deep and a little vinegary. I think some of this is sauerkraut. It's sauerkraut, so that balances out the fattiness of the pork. This is even before taking a bite of the meat. And there's so much meat in here of all different cuts and textures. The organ meat is so good. The liver is so good. That pork belly is all sorts of fatty and melty. Tofu, that's delicious. Pork meatball. Super bouncy and flavorful. This is just the best thing. I got some chilies. I don't know how people eat this. I'm gonna add a little bit of chilies in my soup just to give it a test. I don't want to ruin this broth. This broth is like a national treasure. Okay, a little chili in the broth is not bad, but I think I'm gonna just keep the broth the way it is and dip some of the meat in the chilies. And just chase it with some broth. Oh my god, this is so good. I want this every day at midnight for the rest of my life. This is just a perfect craving satisfier. I've been busy all day, I haven't eaten for a while. This is everything I want for a midnight snack. Also, I got this. Check this out. So this is pig knuckles. This is one of my favorite things in the world because this thing has not just meat, there's fat, there's collagen, there's tendon. Oh, wow, that is so tender. And this is supposed to be a vinegary. Broth is soaked in, and they give you a ton of this as well. Holy moly, and I got 2 eggs. This is eggs marinated in this awesome awesome broth. I want to soak that in there too. So all this meat and a bowl of rice, all for about $9 US. Huh. This marinade is delicious. I'm gonna try a piece of that pig trotter that just fell off the bone. This is really, really good. Because this broth is so vinegary, it completely balances out all the fattiness that's in this pork knuckle. So even though you're eating a ton of collagen and fat, it's not gonna be overly greasy. Dip my pig knuckle in some chilies. Even better. I didn't see this here. White pepper. All soup needs some white pepper. It makes any soup better. It really does. Let's take a big spoonful of this. Yeah, the white pepper just levels up the flavor of this broth, making that even more delicious. Bite of pork knuckle over rice and a spoonful of the pig soup. This is street food at its best here in Singapore. And this place, open 24 hours a day. I'm gonna have this for breakfast, for lunch, anytime you want. And trust me, you give that a try, you're gonna want it all the time. I think I'm gonna need a second bowl.